Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Author's Corner, a creative writing group of students in the Mathematics and Science Academy. My name is Amy Frazier, a lecturer in the Department of Writing and Language Studies, who launched this program under the leadership of Dr. Wilma Smetter, principal of MSA, along with the much appreciated assistance of Melissa Peña-Montes, MSA's program manager. After studying creative writing in Oxford, I applied my newly acquired skills to write and publish a novelette entitled Brujeria in South Texas, scheduled to be released this year in Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other bookstore outlets in the U.S. and the U.K. Since its inception of Author's Corner at the onset of spring semester 2020, I mentored, coached, and instructed a dynamic group of students with a propensity to author intriguing stories. Everyone has a story to tell. The key element, paramount in creative writing, lies in the ability to tell a good story that comes from the heart, mind, and soul of the individual, whose uniqueness is tantamount to a person's fingerprints. No two stories are exact duplicates in its originality. Even a subtle change in a similar theme adds nuance and dimension to a story that yields unexpected outcomes and an element of surprise that often allows the characters to come alive, leading the author to explore a new direction he never imagined. Currently in our 5th consecutive semester, MSA students continue to produce entertaining short stories and fiction published in The Writer. We are so excited and honored to engage for the first time this semester as participants in UTRGV's Vaquero Radio. Thank you for this opportunity. We hope you enjoy hearing today's oral presentation. The spotlight shines on one of our talented students as Writing Warrior of the Week in Author's Corner.
Lost at Sea by Adhira Tippur. Brr. Short and stubby 12-year-old Sandro, cold from the piercing Caribbean wind, sat on the starboard of a small brown tour boat called Cancun Express. Shaking in his hard wooden seat, Sandro walked back and forth as the boat took sharp turns to accommodate the waves that came crashing at the boat like thunder striking trees. Finishing his long and boring safety instructions, the tour guide finally said, "Okay, y'all, time to get in," with a sly smirk on his broad face. Sandro, not paying any attention to the instructor's directions, glared into the vast ocean that was behaving crazier than a toddler having a temper tantrum, just to snorkel. As he was about to jump in, Sandro suddenly got the chills that traveled throughout his entire body as fast as an eagle swooping down to find prey. He looked around and was pleased to see the others in his tour group equally nervous. Wouldn't it be cool if I got in first? He thought. 1, 2, 3. As Sandro daringly jumped into the monstrous ocean, he felt the rush of cold water crawling on his dry, bare skin. Little did Sandro know what he was about to face. One by one, everyone from the tour jumped into the boundless water, like fish being tossed in the water by fishermen. "Ah!" Sandro screamed, suddenly engulfed in white crystal foamy bubbles. As soon as he jumped in the water, the waves overpowered him, and suddenly he found himself drifting away from the group. "Help me!" he shouted, struggling at the top of his lungs, but there was no one in sight. Fighting the supernatural, dark blue ocean waves, Sandro thrust his arms up and down, combating the overwhelming waves, slamming him, pulling him left and right, like two hungry lions fighting over an appalled antelope. It was hopeless. A perplexing sensation of eeriness gave him an unsettling feeling. Unexpectedly, Sandro felt a crystalline, razor-sharp object perforate his right leg. "Shark," is the first thing that came into his mind. From his salty eyes and out of his peripheral vision, Sandro spotted a dark gray, bulky, blunt torpedo-shaped figure about 4 feet below the jagged surface of the frigid water. "Maybe I am just hallucinating," Sandro nervously reassured himself. Out of the blue, Sandro started getting dragged underwater. He frantically kicked his legs back and forth. If only I would have been paying attention when the tour guide was giving us instructions, Sandro regrettably thought. About to give up, he let out his last piece of energy and screamed at the top of his lungs. Help! Just as he was fading in and out of consciousness, he felt an arm grab his elbow. The tour guide swiftly sprang into action and, with the help of a buoy, grabbed Sandro and pulled him out of the water. Sandro flapped over the rescue buoy, gasping for air. Did that actually just happen? Sandro wondered. Breathing heavily, he gave a quick prayer, thanking God for helping him through this nightmarish situation. Maybe I should have jumped in last.